We are closing in on Election Day, and there's a lot to keep track of when it comes to the governor's race and the issues that Illinois voters care about. And joining us now is Patrick Pfingsten, a longtime political consultant who also writes the conservative newsletter, The Illinois. Patrick, how you doing?
Hi, Ray. How are you?
Good, good. So we are closing in here, and the first thing I want to ask you, as we head into this final approach, what is it that you think that Senator Darren Bailey needs to do to close the gap with so many polls showing that Governor Pritzker has such a sizable lead?
Turn the clock back to July 1st and raise some money and get on TV. It's a really tough task at this point to be able to erase a 15-point deficit or so when you're outspent 23-1 in the third quarter, and you just got on TV last week. It's a mountain to climb for Bailey.
Well, you watched the final debate here at WGN this week. I want to ask, what kind of impact do you think that will have on the race as we head into the final stretch?
And no offense to your viewership, Ray, which is very good, but in the terms of the numbers of statewide voters that are undecided and actually sat down on a Tuesday night to watch a debate, it's not that many.
Mm-hmm.
And
even though it went around the state.
And Bailey needs every single one of those undecideds around the state, and and even people who are already Pritzker people to switch to him. So he needed a moment in this in this debate that would be viral, that would change the narrative of the game, and I don't think he got that.
Not even in the southern part of the state where Bailey has a little stronger showing of support.
But he's going to do fine there. You could run, a Mack truck against J.B. Pritzker downstate and probably do well right now, because he's very unpopular among downstate conservative voters anyway. Bailey needs to run up the score downstate, but the problem is there are fewer votes downstate than there was in 2014 and 2010 and 2006 and every race before that. The population shift has been to the north, to the suburbs, and it's going to come down to DuPage and Will and McHenry and Lake counties, and if Bailey's numbers look more like Rauner in 18 and less like Rauner in 14, he's not going to do very well.
So the math in Governor Pritzker's favor. Let me ask, what other contests are you paying particular attention to right now?
I would watch the Secretary of State's race. Dan Brady is being vastly outspent by Alexi Giannoulias. But Dan Brady is one of the best retail politicians in the state. He was outspent 12-1 or something like that in the primary and still won. He's a very likable guy. It's a possibility where people can see an opportunity to split tickets and vote for him, especially with some of the ethical questions that have dogged Giannoulias.
Okay, Secretary of State's race. What else?
Keep an eye on your legislative seats. You are seeing gigantic spending in some of these races. Democrats are piling money onto broadcast TV, especially House Democrats. I think they've got 13 of their members or candidates up on broadcast TV, while House Republicans have exactly 0 members up on TV, broadcast TV. So it's going to be a matter of, is TV driving the electorate like it has in the past, or does mail and knocking on doors and potentially the close in polls with things of it like inflation in the economy continuing to drive people potentially to a Republican legislative candidate, especially if they can't stomach the Republican at the top of the ticket.
All right, just a few seconds left, Patrick. I have to ask you, across the nation, as we broaden the horizon, there are an awful lot of election deniers who are on the ticket on the Republican side. What is your take on that dynamic and the threat that many believe it poses to democracy itself?
Well, to be clear, in Illinois, we mentioned the Secretary of State's race. In Illinois, the Secretary of State has no role over our elections. It's an independent state board of election, and elections are administered at the county level or in the city of Chicago by the Chicago Board of Elections. Nationally, it's a troubling trend for the Republican Party that this sense that the results of the election are somehow illegitimate because our guy lost. It's bogus, and voters need to reject those people completely, without regard.
Votes get counted very soon. Patrick Pfingsten, as always, thanks for being with us.